The 17th century author John Donne once said that no man is an island. And what he means is that no one is self-sufficient, that everyone has to rely on others. So what does this mean for us in the scouting program? That's our topic for today. Welcome to Scouting on Purpose, the only podcast for leaders looking to grow and improve their unit. I'm your host, Mark Cherry, and I am passionate about the scouting program. And in my 10 years, I have learned a few tips and strategies that, when used, will improve your unit, because a quality program is no accident. But first, let's talk about today's camp gear. Today's camp gear is another one of those camping essentials, and that is the coffee maker. Now, the coffee maker isn't strictly a percolator. You can have one that's a French press. You can also do it the old-fashioned way, and that is cowboy coffee. Personally, myself, I prefer cowboy coffee. And why is because the act of boiling the coffee actually reduces the acid in it. You don't get heartburn and it doesn't upset your stomach. It's just good old coffee. Now, if you're not the kind that likes to boil their coffee, you can also do the percolator, the good old-fashioned percolator style, like what Grandma and Grandpa used to have. But a lot of the advancements in camping, we now have the French press. Boil the water, put it in, put the grinds in, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then press the grinds to the bottom. It's kind of a single serve, although they do make some that are bigger. But my favorite is, and always will be, a simple pot, a coffee pot, that you boil water and your grinds in for 5 minutes to get you that nice, refreshing cup of coffee first thing in the morning. So, no man is an island. And what I really mean is, we're not in this alone. Sometimes us leaders can fall into the idea that we are a unit versus a unit. And we're not. We are not in this just to make our unit a better unit. We're in this for the betterment of scouting. Other leaders in your district, in your council, may be fighting the same battles that you are. Could be recruitment, could be advancement. Maybe they've dealt with a bullying situation before, and they can offer you help or guidance there. Could be a number of things, but there are other leaders that can give you valuable resource. Plus, having a group of friends is pretty beneficial when you need to call on them for help. Say you're running a few adults shy of a camp out, and you could cancel the camp out, or you can call upon your friends. Also, having other adult leaders could help you in diagnosing a problem with your unit. Say you have a lack of attendance, and they may have dealt with that, or they may have a fresh set of eyes to look at your problem to help you out. There are probably a few older veteran scouts in your units or in your district that be more than happy to help you because you've given them the opportunity to give back to leaders. But they don't have to be veterans. They could be brand new. But they offer a second opinion. You don't have to take the entire second opinion, but maybe a little piece here and there can make your unit better. So where do we find these friends? Well, you can go to Roundtable. I'm not saying you're going to show up and immediately, oh, look, you're my new best friend. But going to Roundtable, one, puts you in contact with leaders in your area. Not to mention, if you are having an issue, there are, I guarantee you, older veteran scouts there that'd be more than happy to help you. There's also council coordinated events. Every council puts on a coordinated event for all the districts to go to get more training, to hear about the latest news with scouting, getting in touch with those people. And if you show up 3 or 4 times, they're going to recognize your face and you eventually will develop a friendship. Then it could also be at council events, Weebles Woods, Camporee, Kabarama, Adventure Camp. Don't be afraid to walk over and introduce yourself to someone that you haven't met before. Another great way to develop new friends is to staff an event. If you are Baloo trained, then the next time your district is putting on a Baloo training, volunteer to staff it. This is a fantastic way to learn or to get to know new people. Or if you're IOLS trained, don't be afraid to go back and help train the next set of leaders. I'm not saying the staff will be your friend. It could be one of the participants too. You could develop new friends all over the place, exchange phone numbers, and get to know them. You could help them and then they can help you. So how do we develop the friendship in scouting? Now, this can be tricky because a lot of us have the tendency to fall into the trap of, well, I have to know everything. Or, I'm the scoutmaster, I have to have all the answers. There are more than one time that I've had to call up a friend because I didn't know the answer. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm proud to say that. That I've developed friends around me who not only encourage me to continue, they're there to help me whenever I have problems. Things are always changing, see? The program is constantly evolving, constantly growing. And there may be something going on that you haven't experienced yet because you haven't got there. But your new best friend that you met at Roundtable has, or is currently dealing with that. Ask them, talk to them. Not to mention, one of the greatest things about being a scouter is brainstorming ideas to make the program better. Your event, your pack, your unit does not have to be completely original. You can borrow ideas from other units. Just because you didn't come up with it does not mean that you can't use it. I'll give you an example. You visit another unit because your friend invites you. And that unit decides they're going to teach their scouts how to set up a tent. The entire pack. You know what? I really like that idea. I'm going to use that at our next pack event. Nothing's wrong with that. This does not have to be us versus you. Friendships don't just happen. You have to work at them. Their strengths could be your weaknesses. Admit that. Well, I'm not really good at da-da-da-da-da. Fill in the blank. But your strengths could be their weakness. They're going to have to admit, I'm not really good at fill in the blank. Over the past few years, I have met some of my best friends. They have made me a better person. They've made me a better scouter. And those of you that are listening, I hope you know who you are. I want to be raw with you guys. Growing up, I did not have a brother. And now that I have been in this program, I have met men that I consider to be my brother. We like to go camping together just because. There are events coming up in my adventure as Scouter that I want them to be a part of. All because I opened up that channel of friendship and I work at keeping that friendship alive. You see, the greatest resource that any Scouter could have, it's not a website, it's not a book, it's not even a podcast. It is the friends that we develop over the course of our scouting career. It is the friends that you can call when you're having a problem. It's the friends that you can call because you can't remember what the Eagle process is. My friends are the ones that encourage me to keep going. Because no man is an island. We are not in this alone. We are here as a group of adults who are trying to make the program a better place. I hope today's episode wasn't too heavy for you. It's just something that has been kind of weighing on me. I made this realization at a IOLS that I was a part of. Another adult said that it's just really nice to sit around and talk to other adults, other scouters, to talk about their units. What are the successes they've had and what are the failures they've had? It made me realize that this isn't something isolated to just my area. This is something nationwide. So go out and make some friends. Hit up Roundtable and make new friends. So now it is time for everyone's favorite section, the dad jokes. Why are scouts like socks? They come prepared. I wanted to take a bath, but I decided to leave it where it was. So guys, thank you very much. Keep up the good work, but we're starting to broaden our horizons. We're starting to gather more listeners. Please still go out and tell your friends about this podcast, about the website. I want this to be a community for all, a group of friends, if you will, to help each other develop and create a better program. For today's deep thought, it came from a friend of mine. We staffed an event together and she handed me a piece of paper that says, "The code of the knight is still the code of the gentleman today." A quote by Baden-Powell. And I thought about it for a minute and I was like, what is the code of the knight? A knight is supposed to show bravery, strength, and skill, to respect women, to defend the weak and the poor, to be generous to others, and to be loyal to his lord, his family, and his friends. So you could say the code of the knight is the scout law. That's a deep thought for all of us to take out. So guys, as always, go out, have fun, and don't forget to scout on purpose.